Have you ever felt like you're drowning in work? Like, no matter how hard you try, the to-do list just keeps growing? A million things to handle, and only 24 hours in a day. That was me. A few years ago, I thought I was living the dream of entrepreneurship. I had my own business, I was my own boss. But in reality, I wasn't in control at all. I was constantly working. Late nights turned into early mornings. Weekends disappeared. My phone never stopped buzzing, and every notification felt urgent. I kept telling myself this was normal, that this was just the price of success. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. My business wasn't supporting my life, it was consuming it. Every day felt like a race I could never win. Endless emails, tasks piling up, and the constant fear that if I slowed down for even a moment, everything would fall apart. I was exhausted, mentally drained, on the edge of burnout. There were moments when I seriously questioned everything. I wondered if entrepreneurship just wasn't for me, if I had made a mistake chasing this path. And then something changed. Not overnight, not in some dramatic movie moment, but slowly, in a way that completely reshaped how I worked. I discovered a new way of doing things, a tool so powerful it felt like I had added extra hours to my day, like I had cloned myself, not once, but multiple times. That tool was artificial intelligence. At first, I was skeptical. I thought AI was complicated, expensive, or only for big companies. But once I started using it, everything shifted. Tasks that used to take hours were done in minutes. Repetitive work disappeared. Decisions became clearer. My time finally felt like it belonged to me again. Instead of working harder, I started working smarter. And for the first time in a long time, I could breathe. Artificial intelligence didn't replace me, it empowered me. It gave me back control of my business and my life. And that's when I realized something important. The future of work isn't about doing more, it's about using the right tools the right way. And once you do, everything changes. And today, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how I automated my entire business using AI. Not a theory, not a trend, and definitely not a highlight reel. This is a full, practical walkthrough of what actually worked for me. For a long time, my business felt overwhelming. Too many tasks, too many tools, too many decisions pulling my attention in different directions. I was busy all the time, yet progress felt slow. And if you're a business owner, there's a good chance you felt that same pressure. What changed everything was not working harder, it was learning how to work differently. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact tools, systems, and mindset shifts that help me automate the core parts of my business using AI. We'll break things down step by step. No jargon, no fluff, no unnecessary complexity. You'll see how I moved from constantly reacting to tasks to running a business that feels organized, predictable, and scalable. From stressed to focused, from overwhelmed to in control. By the end of this video, you will have a clear, practical roadmap you can start using immediately. Not someday, not after months of learning, but now. And this works whether your business is big or small, whether you're a solo founder, a freelancer, or running a growing team. You don't need to be technical, you don't need to code, you don't even need prior experience with AI tools. What you need is clarity, and that's exactly what this video is designed to give you. We'll cover how to think about automation the right way, which tasks to automate first, and how to avoid the common mistakes that cause most people to give up too early. This isn't about replacing yourself, it's about freeing yourself. Freeing your time, freeing your attention, and freeing your energy so you can focus on the work that actually moves your business forward. So grab a notebook,
Slow things down and give yourself permission to learn without pressure. Because once you understand how to use AI the right way, your business stops feeling heavy and your life as a business owner gets a whole lot easier.
Let's start with the foundation: automating customer communication. This is where most businesses quietly lose time, focus, and energy. For a long time, I didn't notice it happening. I just knew I was busy all day, every day. Not building, not scaling, just responding. I spent hours answering the same questions again and again. What are your business hours? Do you ship to my country? What's your return policy? Individually, those questions seem harmless, but together, they add up fast. Every reply pulled my attention away from real work. Every notification broke my concentration. By the end of the day, I felt drained, yet somehow behind. The truth was simple. I wasn't running my business anymore. My inbox was. That's when I realized something had to change. My first real win with AI came from implementing an AI-powered chatbot on my website. At first, I was skeptical. I worried it would sound robotic, impersonal, or confusing. But once it was set up properly, everything shifted. The chatbot handled the repetitive questions instantly. It worked 24/7, without breaks, delays, or frustration. Customers got clear answers in seconds, no matter where they were. Support emails dropped almost immediately. Response times improved. Customer satisfaction actually went up. And for the first time in a long while, I got my time back. Instead of answering the same questions repeatedly, I focused on improving systems, refining offers, and planning real growth. The business started to feel lighter, more controlled, more intentional. That's when it clicked. Automating customer communication isn't just about saving time. It's about protecting your attention. When AI handles the predictable, you're free to focus on the meaningful. Strategy instead of reaction. Growth instead of maintenance. This single change became the foundation for everything that came next. And once that foundation was in place, scaling stopped feeling overwhelming and started feeling possible. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Aren't chatbots annoying and robotic? That's a fair concern. For a long time, chatbots were exactly that: mechanical, frustrating, and often more trouble than help. But things have changed. Modern AI chatbots are truly incredible. They can understand natural language almost like a human would. That means you don't have to worry about rigid commands or confusing instructions. They can actually follow what your customers are asking and respond intelligently. What's even more impressive is that these AI assistants can access your business information instantly. Need to check inventory, provide a service update, or answer questions about pricing? They can do it all, accurately, in seconds. And here's the best part: these chatbots are available 24/7. That's right, while you're sleeping, your AI assistant is still hard at work, helping customers, solving problems, and even capturing leads for your business. It's like having a dedicated team member who never takes a day off. Think about the possibilities. Instead of worrying about missing a client email in the middle of the night, or struggling to answer repetitive questions during your busiest hours, your AI assistant handles it all smoothly. And it's not just about efficiency, it's about creating a better experience for your customers. So if you've been hesitant about chatbots, now is the time to reconsider. Modern AI chatbots aren't just tools, they're intelligent, reliable, and always ready to support your business. They let you focus on what really matters: growing your business and building stronger relationships, while they take care of the rest. Here's how I did it. I started with a tool like Tidio or ChatFuel. These platforms are really simple to use, with user-friendly interfaces that make setting up a chatbot much easier than I expected. The first step was to feed it all the necessary data. I uploaded every FAQ we had, every detail about our products, and all our shipping policies. It felt a little tedious at first, but it was worth it, because this is the information the chatbot would rely on to help our customers. Next, I trained it on my brand's voice. I wanted it to sound genuinely helpful and friendly, like a real person, not like a robotic machine. The goal was for customers to feel understood and supported, even if I wasn't personally replying to each message. Within just a week, the chatbot was handling over 70% of all customer inquiries. 70%. I couldn't believe how much time this freed up. Suddenly, I had hours back in my day that I could spend on growing the business, rather than just responding to questions all the time. My customers were happier too, because they were getting instant answers whenever they needed them. And I was happier because I finally had space to focus on strategy, planning, and the big picture growth of the business. This single change didn't just save me time, it also increased our conversion rate by 15% because customers weren't leaving the site with unanswered questions or doubts. That improvement alone made a noticeable difference in revenue and customer satisfaction. Looking back, it's amazing how such a simple adjustment, setting up a smart, well-trained chatbot, transformed the way I work. It gave me more time, reduced stress, and made our customers' experience smoother and faster. This small, deliberate change made a big difference for my business, for my customers, and for the way I spend my time. Next up, let's talk about marketing and content creation, the real engine behind any business. Because no matter how good your product is, if people don't hear about it, it doesn't grow. For a long time, this was my biggest bottleneck. Every week felt like the same struggle, coming up with social media posts, writing blog articles, creating ad copy that didn't sound recycled or forced. It felt like I was stuck on a never-ending content treadmill, always moving but never getting ahead. I'd sit down with the intention to plan content, and somehow hours would disappear. My content calendar was always half empty. Some weeks I'd post consistently. Other weeks I'd go completely silent. And that inconsistency showed. My marketing felt reactive instead of intentional. Ideas came late, execution was rushed, and momentum was hard to maintain. The frustrating part wasn't the lack of effort, it was the lack of leverage. Marketing demanded creativity, strategy, and speed all at the same time, and trying to do everything manually made it unsustainable. That's when I turned to generative AI tools. At first, it was just an experiment, a way to get unstuck, a way to generate ideas faster. But very quickly, it became something much bigger. Instead of staring at a blank page, I had starting points. Instead of forcing inspiration, I had structure. Social posts, blog outlines, ad variations, created in minutes instead of hours. AI didn't replace my voice, it amplified it. I could focus on direction, clarity, and message, while the heavy lifting of drafting, refining, and iterating happened faster than ever before. Suddenly, my content calendar was full, not rushed, not random, but consistent. Marketing stopped feeling like a burden, it became a system. A repeatable process that scaled with my business instead of draining it. And that's the real shift. Generative AI doesn't just help you create more content, it helps you show up consistently. It helps you stay visible, and it turns marketing from a bottleneck into a growth engine. For me,
That changed everything. I started using tools like Jasper and Copy.ai, not out of curiosity, but out of necessity. And I quickly realized something important. These tools aren't just fancy spell checkers, they're creative partners. Here's how my workflow actually looks. I usually begin with a simple idea for a blog post. For example, 5 ways to improve your home office. At that stage, it's just a concept. No structure, no polished paragraphs, just an idea. Next, I feed that title into the AI tool. Along with it, I add a few bullet points, key areas I want the article to cover. Maybe productivity, lighting, ergonomics, organization, and personal comfort. That's it. No long instructions, no detailed outline. Within seconds, the AI generates a full draft. It's structured, it flows logically. There's an introduction, clear sections, and a conclusion that actually makes sense. Is it perfect? No, but it's about 90% there. And that's the real value. The AI does the heavy lifting. It removes the friction of staring at a blank page. It handles structure, pacing, and clarity, things that usually take the most time. Once that draft is ready, I step in. This is where the human part matters. I refine the language. I adjust the tone. I remove anything that feels generic or overly polished. Then I add what the AI can't. Personal stories, real experiences, context that comes from actually doing the work. I inject my own voice, how I naturally explain things, how I think, how I connect ideas. At that point, the article stops feeling like AI-generated content. It becomes my content. This approach completely changes how I create. Instead of spending hours drafting from scratch, I spend my time improving, shaping, and adding depth. AI doesn't replace creativity here, it amplifies it. It handles the first 90% so I can focus on the final 10, the part that actually makes the content meaningful. That's why I don't see tools like Jasper or Copy.ai as shortcuts. I see them as collaborators. They help me move faster, they help me stay consistent, and most importantly, they free up my time to do what only I can do.
It doesn't stop at blog posts. What started as a single piece of writing now becomes an entire content ecosystem. One blog post turns into 10 social media captions, 2 email newsletters, and even a script for a short video. The same idea reshaped for different platforms, different audiences, different moments. This is content repurposing at its most powerful. Not long ago, this process took me an entire week. A week of staring at a blank screen, second-guessing ideas, rewriting the same sentences, and feeling constantly behind. Creativity felt exhausting instead of exciting. Every new post felt like starting from zero. Now, that same workload takes about 2 hours. The difference isn't working harder, it's working smarter. Instead of rebuilding content from scratch, I start with one strong core idea. From there, AI helps handle the structure, breaking it down, reshaping it, and adapting it for each format. What used to be repetitive, draining work is now streamlined and efficient. And the results speak for themselves. My content output has tripled. I'm publishing more consistently without rushing or cutting corners. My website traffic from search engines has doubled because I'm answering real questions clearly and regularly. And my social media engagement is higher than ever because each piece of content feels intentional, not forced. So why does this work? Because consistency creates trust. When you show up regularly with useful, thoughtful content, people notice, they engage, they come back. And when the process no longer drains you, you can stay consistent without burning out. That's the real advantage.
AI doesn't replace creativity, it amplifies it. It doesn't tell you what to think or what to feel. It takes care of the structure, the formatting, the variations, the heavy lifting, so you can focus on what actually matters: the message, the insight, the human connection behind the words. Instead of spending your energy fighting the process, you spend it refining the idea. Instead of struggling to produce more, you focus on producing better. This isn't about shortcuts, it's about sustainability. When your workflow supports your creativity instead of draining it, everything changes. You move faster, yes, but more importantly, you move with clarity and confidence. And that's when content stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like momentum.
Now for the big one: automating operations and project management. This is the central nervous system of your business. When it works smoothly, everything stays aligned. When it's chaotic, even strong teams and great ideas start to break down. For a long time, my operations were held together by spreadsheets, scattered notes, and half-remembered conversations. Tasks lived in different places. Deadlines slipped quietly. Important follow-ups depended on someone remembering to check in at the right time. On the surface, it looked manageable. Underneath, it was fragile. I tried almost every project management tool available. Each one promised structure, visibility, and control. But the real problem wasn't the software, it was the amount of manual work required to keep everything updated. Someone had to enter tasks, someone had to update statuses, someone had to chase progress, send reminders, and report on what was done and what wasn't. That manual effort adds friction. It pulls people away from meaningful work and turns management into constant supervision. Progress becomes reactive instead of intentional. By the time an issue is visible, it's already late. The hidden cost isn't just missed deadlines, it's mental overhead, it's context switching, it's the quiet stress of knowing something might be slipping through the cracks. When operations rely on memory and manual tracking, the system scales poorly, no matter how good the people are. This is where automation changes everything, not by adding more tools, but by redesigning how work flows through the business. Tasks are created automatically from real actions. Progress is tracked without constant updates. Follow-ups happen when they're needed, not when someone remembers to send them. Automation turns operations from a collection of checklists into a living system. Information moves on its own. Visibility becomes real-time. Managers stop chasing updates and start making decisions. Teams spend less time reporting work and more time actually doing it. Most importantly, automation creates consistency. The business doesn't rely on heroic effort to stay organized. It relies on systems that work the same way every day, regardless of growth, pressure, or complexity. When operations in project management are automated correctly, the business feels calmer. Deadlines are clearer, responsibilities are obvious, problems surface early when they're easier to fix. That's what a healthy central nervous system looks like. Not loud, not complicated, just reliable. And once it's in place, everything else in the business starts to move faster, with far less resistance. This is where automation platforms like Zapier or Make really shine. Think of them as digital glue. They connect all the different apps you use and make them talk to each other automatically. Imagine how much time and effort this can save you in your business. Let me walk you through a concrete example from my own business so you can see exactly how this works. When a new customer makes a purchase on my Shopify store, a Zap automatically triggers. The first thing it does is add the customer's information to my MailChimp email list. This ensures that every customer is automatically included in my email communications without me having to lift a finger. It's seamless and completely hands-off. Next, the same automation creates a new task in Asana, which is my project management tool. This task goes straight to the fulfillment team, letting them know they need to pack and ship the order.
The team doesn't have to check multiple platforms or manually update anything. The workflow just happens. Finally, the automation sends a personalized thank you email to the customer. This small gesture goes a long way in building trust and loyalty, and it's entirely automated. You can even customize these emails to include upsells, special offers, or follow-up information. When you combine all these steps, the result is a system that works behind the scenes, saving time, reducing mistakes, and giving your customers a smooth, professional experience. Automation platforms like Zapier or Make are powerful tools because they do the repetitive work for you, freeing you up to focus on the bigger picture, growing your business. Even if you're just starting out, implementing simple automations can make a noticeable difference. And as your business grows, these systems scale with you, handling more tasks, more customers, and more complexity without extra effort. So think of automation as an invisible assistant working 24/7. It keeps your operations running smoothly, ensures nothing falls through the cracks, and lets you focus on the parts of your business that require your unique touch. With a little setup, you can create workflows that handle repetitive tasks automatically, making your business more efficient, professional, and customer-friendly. All of this happens instantly, with zero manual input from me. Every action, every step just flows automatically without me lifting a finger. Imagine setting up dozens of these automated workflows, each one quietly working in the background. For example, a new lead from a Facebook ad doesn't just sit in your inbox, it's automatically added to your CRM, ready for follow-up. A client schedules an appointment through Calendly, and without any extra effort, a Zoom link is created, confirmation emails are sent, and reminders go out on schedule. It's seamless. It's like having an invisible, hyper-efficient team working for you around the clock. Every repetitive task, every small administrative duty is handled perfectly, every single time. No human error, no missed steps, just smooth, continuous operation. By automating these processes, I've freed up my team to focus on the work that truly matters, projects that require creativity, strategy, and critical thinking. The mundane, time-consuming tasks no longer slow us down. This isn't about replacing people, far from it. It's about empowering them to do what they do best. When the repetitive work is gone, human talent can shine. Teams become more productive, more focused, and more fulfilled in what they do. And the best part, these workflows are scalable. Once set up, they run endlessly. You can add new tools, connect new apps, and watch as the entire system grows more capable without adding extra hours of work. It's efficiency, consistency, and reliability built into the backbone of your business. In short, automation isn't just a convenience, it's a superpower. It turns routine tasks into smooth, invisible processes, freeing time, reducing stress, and letting human potential take the lead. That's the real magic of setting up systems that work for you automatically every single day. So, up until now, we've gone through the key pillars of building your automated business: customer service, marketing, and operations. Each of these areas plays a critical role in the success of your company, and together they form the core framework for automation. Now, at first glance, all of this might feel overwhelming. It's natural. You might be thinking, where do I even start? Or how can I possibly manage all of this? And that's okay. You don't have to implement everything at once. Automation is not about doing everything at lightning speed. It's about building steadily, step by step, so that each piece works well and supports the others. Start small, really small. Focus on the one area that currently causes you the most pain in your day-to-day work. For many business owners, this is something repetitive, like answering the same emails over and over, responding to customer inquiries, or manually posting content on social media. Once you've identified that pain point, look for an AI tool that can help. It could be a smart email assistant, a chatbot, or even an automated scheduling tool. Implement it, test it, and take the time to really master it. Notice how much time you save. Notice how much smoother that part of your business runs. And here's the key: don't rush. Each small automation you build is not just a task off your plate, it's a brick in the foundation of a stronger business. With each brick, your company becomes more resilient, your team becomes more efficient, and ultimately, your business becomes more profitable. Once you feel comfortable with one automation, move to the next area. Maybe it's streamlining your marketing campaigns, or automating certain operational tasks, or improving customer support with AI. Each step is a building block, and over time, these small improvements compound into something much bigger than the sum of their parts. So take a deep breath and approach automation with patience and intention. Focus on one piece at a time. Celebrate each small win, because every automation you implement is progress. And as you continue to layer these improvements, you'll start to notice a transformation, not just in how your business operates, but in the freedom it gives you to focus on growth, strategy, and the bigger picture. Remember, automation is not about replacing the human touch, it's about enhancing it. By letting AI handle repetitive tasks, you free up your energy for creativity, decision-making, and meaningful connections with your customers. And that is ultimately what makes your business stronger, smarter, and more sustainable for the long term. This journey transformed my life. Not overnight, not magically, but fundamentally. There was a time when I was buried in operations, constantly reacting, always busy, but rarely clear. Every day felt like putting out fires, emails, meetings, decisions that couldn't wait. I was working harder than ever, yet moving further away from the life I wanted. And then something changed. I stopped thinking like an operator and started thinking like a CEO. AI became the turning point, not because it replaced me, but because it freed me. Tasks that once consumed hours were handled in minutes. Repetitive work disappeared. Decisions became clearer, faster, more informed. For the first time in years, I had space. Space to think, space to plan, space to lead. I got time back with my family, real time, uninterrupted. I started prioritizing my health again, and most importantly, I regained the ability to focus on the big picture, the vision, where my business is going, what truly matters, and how to build something sustainable, not just successful. AI didn't make me work less, it made my work smarter. It allowed me to step out of the weeds and into strategy, out of chaos and into clarity. And that's the shift most people miss. The future isn't about grinding longer hours. It isn't about doing more of everything. It's about doing the right things better. AI is not a shortcut. It's a multiplier. It amplifies focus. It sharpens decision-making. It turns effort into leverage. Used correctly, it doesn't replace human judgment. It enhances it. AI gave me my life back, and it can do the same for you. Because the next era of success won't belong to those who work the hardest, but to those who think the clearest. The ones who lead with intention, who build with intelligence, who use the best tools available. And right now, AI is the smartest tool we've ever had. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I genuinely appreciate you being here, and I truly hope this guide has inspired you, not just with ideas, but with the confidence to take your first real step into AI automation. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. You don't need to be a programmer, a tech expert, or a big company to start automating your business. AI is no longer something reserved for the future or for massive corporations. It's available right now, and it's more accessible than ever. If you found value in this guide, hitting the like button is one of the simplest ways you can support the channel. It helps more entrepreneurs and builders discover content like this, and it lets me know you want more deep, practical breakdowns just like this one. And if you're serious about building a smarter, more efficient business, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. On this channel, we go beyond surface-level advice. We explore real tools, real workflows, and real strategies that save time, reduce manual work, and help you scale without burning out. There's a lot more coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. Now, I want to hear from you. Every business is different, and that's where the real insights come from. What is the #1 task in your business that you wish you could automate right now? Is it lead generation, customer support, content creation, follow-ups, reporting, or something else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every comment, and your ideas often shape future videos on this channel. Let's turn this into a real conversation, and maybe even a roadmap for what we build together next. Thanks again for spending your time with me today. Stay curious, stay consistent, and keep building smarter, not harder. I'll see you in the next video.